And you know, every single foundation has like a different finish or, you know, consistency. So some brushes work better with certain consistencies than others. So I'm just gonna go over my absolute favorite brushes. And I'm gonna share with you guys what kind of foundations I use with them and all that good stuff. So if you wanna see my top favorite foundation brushes, then just keep on watching. Okay, I'm gonna start out with my absolute favorite brush. You guys see me use this like 99% out of all my tutorials. It is the IT Cosmetics, the Airbrush Buffing Foundation Brush. It's the number 110. And it looks like this. It's just kind of like a flat top kabuki style brush. I love this brush. I love IT Cosmetics brushes, you guys. They're so soft. They get the job done flawlessly. And this one I've been using for a long time now, and I just love it. You can see it's like a dense, soft head of the brush. It's a good size, so it buffs in your foundation like super fast and really flawlessly. You never get any streaking or anything like that. I just love this one. It washes beautifully. It always gets all the foundation out, and this number 110 brush is one that I pull out pretty much on a daily basis. Okay, then we're gonna move to this big guy right here. This one is the Sephora Pro Dome Stippling Brush, the number 41. And it's kind of like a dome, like it says. It's like a dome, and it's got like it's not like a duo fiber bristle. I don't know, it's just, I guess, kind of just whiter on the ends. Because it's definitely not like a duo fiber, I would say. But this one is the best foundation brush for like creamier type foundations. This is what I use with my Laura Mercier Silk Cream Foundation, which if you guys are familiar with that is more of a thicker, heavier consistency. This will buff out a heavier consistency foundation so flawlessly. This is the only thing I use if I have a heavier type of coverage, heavier type of foundation, because this just takes that, you know, if you don't use the right kind of brush, it can become cakey or heavy feeling on the skin. But using a brush like this always just leaves the most flawless finish, and you never get that cakiness. So this is the brush I absolutely use every single time if I use a thicker, heavier consistency foundation. Okay, then we're gonna move on to this guy right here. This is actually a new brush to my collection. This is the Cover FX Custom Blending Brush. So this is a new brush. Again, I love foundation brushes. I was so intrigued by this one. It's kind of just totally different than anything I have. It's like super short, and it is so dense. This is the most dense brush out of all the brushes I use. This one is so dense. It's a good size to buff in your foundation too. It really gets the job done quickly. But this sucker will blend amazingly. I've been using this for the past couple days just to really get a feel for this brush, and I absolutely love it. It is supposed to be really good for using your Cover FX drops. It's really good at, you know, blending and mixing in those drops with your foundations, your other foundations. I've tested it with other foundations. I've tested it with the Cover FX drops mixed in with other foundations, and it blends beautifully. It kind of feels like when you use this that you're applying with like a beauty blender, because it's just so dense. It doesn't feel like there's like bristles, if that makes any sense. But it blends out foundation absolutely flawless, and this is a great buffing brush to really get that foundation blended in. Okay, then we're gonna talk about this IT Cosmetics brush right here. This is one that I've had for a while as well, and I love it. It's the Airbrush OMG Foundation, the 106. This one I was so intrigued by when it came out, because it's kind of like, it looks like a little paintbrush. And this is totally not the kind of brush that I'm drawn to, but it was IT Cosmetics. I was like, they can do no wrong with their brushes. I'm gonna try this one out. This brush is amazing. It applies your foundation so quick. It literally feels like you're using a paintbrush on your face, but it leaves no streaks, the most flawless finish. I can use this with a lightweight consistency foundation or a heavier consistency, and it just works always beautifully. So again, this one's super soft. This one's super easy to clean as well. And it's just, you would think that it would leave streaks. Like I always feel like these type of like paddle brush type things would leave streaks, but it leaves no streaks. It always leaves the most flawless finish. So this is one that I grab a lot. Okay, then we have this little guy right here. This is the Makeup Geek Face Buffer Brush. This is such a cute little foundation brush. It's smaller in size, as you can see. The handle is a shorter handle as you compare to my IT Cosmetics, but it's really dense and really soft, and it's very good at buffing in foundation, very good at blending foundation. So this is one that is like a great option. It's very inexpensive. and I do reach for this one quite a lot. I kind of just rotate my brushes. When they are dirty, I reach for other ones. These are all ones that I rotate and use all the time. And it's just a really cute little good brush. Okay, here's another IT Cosmetics brush. This one doesn't have a number. I will just link it down below for you guys. This one I got with their powder foundation. So this is what I use all the time with any type of powder foundation. If I want to really buff my powder foundation into my skin, if I want more of a coverage with my powder foundation, this is the brush I reach for to really get that extra coverage from my powders. And it works beautifully, it works flawlessly, it never leaves powder looking cakey on your skin. It's just a super product to really buff in powder. And it's kind of got, it's dense and soft as all IT Cosmetics brushes are, but this one I would say is not as dense as the actual like liquid foundation brushes. This one has a little bit more room and a little bit more give to it. So it's just as really perfect for the powder foundations because it never applies too much. That's what I use if I really want to buff in some powder foundation to give some extra coverage. Okay, then we're gonna do our last two right here, guys. And you guys know I recently picked up the Marc Jacobs Phase 3 brush. It looks like this. It is super big and super dense, and I liked it. It's definitely not my favorite brush, but I liked it and I was using it, and you know, I was like thinking to myself, I pulled this one out of a drawer that I kind of threw this guy in when I moved, and I totally forgot about it. It is the Tarte Airbrush Flawless Foundation Brush. These two guys literally are exactly the same. If you were interested in the Marc Jacobs Phase 3 brush, and if you have the Tarte brush, or if you are interested in getting this, if you want a cheaper alternative, this Tarte brush is, I am telling you guys, identical, except the Tarte brush is softer. The bristles are definitely on the softer side and a little bit more giving on the skin, if that makes sense. And they pretty much are the same size. The Tarte one is slightly bigger, but density-wise, they are seriously so much alike. And I was comparing the two and I was like, oh my gosh, I just bought a duplicate of my Tarte brush, but yeah, I actually pretty much prefer the Tarte one because it is softer. So if, like I said, if you are interested in this one and don't have the Tarte one, maybe take a look at the Tarte because it is so similar, you guys. I mean, literally almost identical, except the Tarte is softer and a little bit more giving on the skin. This one, I feel like, kind of is a little bit more rough on your skin, which I don't like as much. So I haven't, this isn't one that I've been reaching for. This isn't one that I would reach for on a daily basis. So yeah, this Tarte one is pretty much a dupe. So just wanted to let you guys know that. I was talking about that on Instagram the other day because I literally just, when I posted on Instagram, I just had pulled this out of my drawer and I was like, oh my gosh, seriously, the same. So speaking of Marc Jacobs brushes real quick, this is the Phase 2 brush, and this is one that I actually, now that I'm kind of seeing how close these two are and I prefer the Tarte one, I would also recommend more so the Phase 2 brush. I just really like this brush. This brush is very, very soft. This brush is softer than his Phase 3 brush. So you can kind of see the difference here. The Phase 2 is more angled and just really gets that foundation really, really flawlessly on the skin. And this one I would prefer because it is softer. They both have a good size head to them. They both have a good size brush head to them, and they just, I don't know, I would prefer the Phase 2 brush. I would pick this one over this one, just in case, again, you guys are lusting after this Phase 3. It is not all that it, you know, looks like it could be. This one, I would say, if you don't have any of his brushes, this one I like better. This one's super, super soft. Okay, guys, those are my absolute favorite foundation brushes. You can see I kind of alternate. I use different brushes for different type of foundation consistencies and stuff like that, but those are all my absolute favorite brushes. Let me know down below what some of your favorites are in case I need to check out some other must-haves. But thank you guys all so much for watching and being here with me, guys. I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.